Hey, what's going on, everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about the Lions matchup against the Green Bay Packers, and we're also going to touch on the news that came out this week of the termination of Aubrey Pleasant and the trading of TJ Hockenson. So without any further ado, let's get into it, fellas.
Welcome to Detroit!
Hey, what's up, bud? You know what it is. It's me, it's Hat and Beard. We're here together to enjoy all of this fun and misery of the 2022 Detroit Lions NFL season. I'm glad we're here together, though, man. It's way easier to suffer together than to suffer alone, man. So let's get right into it, fellas. First and foremost, I need you to go ahead and hit like and subscribe on the video. Go ahead and ring that bell so you never miss out on any future content. The thing that I want to talk about first is the Aubrey Pleasant firing. I think it's a real small move on Dan Campbell's part, man. On Dan Campbell's part. I think Dan Campbell should have just not fired Aubrey Pleasant because I think that's just a weak move, man. Obviously, our defense isn't what it was last year. Obviously, Amani Oruwariye is not what he was last year. Neither is Jeff Okudah or Will Harris or Kirby Joseph because he was in college, playing college ball last year. Those three guys have ascended. And yes, I threw Will Harris in there, and I think you guys know how much I hate Will Harris. And Kirby Joseph, between his first start and now, is an entirely different player. He has ascended to a degree that I don't think any of us could have anticipated, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm here for the Kirby Joseph experience. So knowing that those three players are turning it around from where they were, or are exceeding or passing expectations, and one player, Amani Oruwariye, is too stupid to line up not offsides and not get 7 penalties in the Minnesota game and not just hang on to players because he's washed and can't play with the speed of players anymore. You know what? I'll solve that. I'll fire the DB's coach. Great move, Dan. Weak sauce, man. That's the problem with the American workforce, is that we have such top-heavy management, and since we allow our managers to be, they're the manager. Ooh, the fucking deity of work. We all have to grovel and worship at your fucking feet and suckle on your toes, you piece of shit. Fuck you, man. I'm so sick of that type of mentality, bro. That's bullshit. That's how you get into these awful fucking positions. Compound that with the fact that Dan Campbell hired all of his buddies. Aaron Glenn is his buddy, dude. Disclaimer, I have nothing against these men individually. I have a problem with the product on the field, man. I don't like what I'm seeing. Aaron Glenn should have been the termination, and Aubrey Pleasant should have been the ascension into the defensive coordinator position. Aubrey Pleasant being fired is nothing more than the CEO picking on the lowest hourly employee and saying, you know what? You're the reason my company's not successful. Hey, man, you know what, man? Aubrey, man, we just got to fire him, man. This ain't my fault, man. I'm not a stupid fucking idiot that doesn't know how to call a goddamn game, man. I'm not a tight ends coach who's grossly overpaid to be a head coach, man. I wasn't on anybody's short list, man. Look, man, I'm making the decision, man. I know what to do, man. And then quickly, let's talk about the TJ Hockenson trade. Look, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. TJ Hockenson is a bust, dude. You don't take tight ends in the first round, man. So let's just, look, some of you are legit on board and understand the maneuver. The rest of you are a bunch of fucking dumbasses, and I'm going to tell you why. I've heard numerous times that people say, well, they just got to throw TJ Hockenson to Baltimore. If they threw him to Baltimore, he'd be a better player.
What the hell is that? What is your motto here?
Then how come when I said that to Hat and Boobs the very first, without missing a beat, she just straight goes, well, we do, and he drops it. Holy shit! Holy shit, man! Holy shit! Hat and Boobs realizes it, but your old dumbass doesn't notice it. Look, dude, TJ Hockenson is a bust, man. I hope, maybe he turns it around in Minnesota. Maybe he goes around to Matt Stafford and somehow wins the Super Bowl in Minnesota, even though I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. I'm pretty sure that the Eagles are going to fucking trounce them on their way to, well, either the Eagles or the 49ers. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Bills 49ers Super Bowl. Maybe, but this is a mutually beneficial thing for everybody involved. The Vikings get a tight end that they really apparently wanted and were able to give up or willing to auction off the house for. TJ Hockenson gets a fresh start. There, if you're such a fucking TJ Hockenson fan, go put on your big purple fucking jersey and go be a goddamn Vikings fan. And the Lions, we're the biggest winners in this. And I'm going to tell you why. So I need you to sit down, shut the fuck up, and listen to me real quick. We just cleared $9 million off the salary cap for next year. TJ Hawkinson we exercised his 5th-year option. That was going to be a $9 million cap hit next year, right? So you just freed up $10 million. TJ Hawkinson, when he wants to be re-signed, is going to ask and demand top 5 tight end money. So you're going to have to take that $9 million salary and you're going to have to increase it to $12 to $15 million per year. That's roughly a 1/10 of your salary cap per year. So you're telling me you're going to automatically tell me that TJ Hawkinson, yes, I know, he went to a Pro Bowl 1 year, yep, as a fucking alternate. Well, he set the rookie debut receiving yardage record for a tight end. Yep, he had 2 good games in his career. His very first game ever against Arizona, who you stream tight ends against because they can't stop tight ends, and Seattle this year. What have you done for me lately, bud? Not shit, man. Not shit. Even when we force feed you the ball, you refuse to produce. So with TJ Hawkinson wanting $12 to $15 million next year, and you're really going to allocate a 1/10 of your salary cap, roughly, give or take, to TJ Hawkinson when you have multiple tight ends who have already outproduced. Look, TJ Hawkinson's averaging 4 catches for 40 yards. James Mitchell can do that. Brock Wright can do that. Shane Zylstra can do that. Any tight end can do that. Any combination of tight ends can do that. Jared Goff doesn't support tight ends in his NFL career. He doesn't throw to tight ends. That's not his bag, man. He had Tyler Higbee and Gerald Everett in L.A. He didn't utilize hardly either one of them, man. It's not his forte, bro. This is the big picture. Hey, let's put our thinking caps on, not our drinking caps, dumbass, and let's look down the road for 2 seconds, okay? Number 1, we cleared off $10 million in extra salary cap. Number 2, we avoid negotiations with TJ Hawkinson. Number 3, we accrue a 2nd-round pick this year and a 3rd-round pick next year. I don't give a shit about 3rd-round pick next year. We get a 2nd-round pick this year. This gives us, count them, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd. That gives us 5 picks in the first 65 picks, man. If you guys have been paying attention for the past 2 years and actually looking at what's going on with the front office, Brad Holmes kills it in drafts, dude. Brad Holmes is a draft machine, bro. The more assets he can get in the draft, the better our franchise is going to be, because not only can Brad Holmes find talent, but he can find talent and he can bring them in on rookie contracts. What's the significance of the rookie contract, you ask? Well, I will tell you if you will just sit down, shut up, and quit fucking interrupting me. Number 1, the rookie contract is a longer-term deal, a 3 to 4 year contract on a smaller salary, giving you more leverage, more negotiability, more money to negotiate with in the free agent market. Number 2, it's a low-risk financial investment. You guys, I've said it before, Amon-Ra St. Brown will make less money in the entire duration of his rookie contract than Kenny Golladay will in the month of September, okay? It's a huge thing. Right now, we are paying off a lot of players who are bad contract maneuvers from the Quinn Trisha era. Bad player personnel that we brought in, put on inflated contracts, Jamie Collins, Trey Flowers. You know, we're still paying those guys, and they're not even on the roster. Hell, Jelani Tavai, our 2nd-round pick a couple of years ago, we're still paying him $2 million this year, and he's starting for the New England Patriots. They're not paying him a fucking dime, man. That's coming out of the Ford family's pockets, dude. That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. That's bad. That was bad. We're still paying for the sins of the Quinn Trisha era, okay? And the fucking most important point is that right now, if you kept everybody on roster, the Lions would have $25 million going into the free agent market next year. I know, that sounds like a lot to you or me, but in the NFL world, that's not a lot. Look, we had to pay DJ Shark $8 million with an additional $2 million in incentives 1 year to come in and prove it. DJ Shark hasn't proved it. That would be almost half of this year's salary hard cap availability money, right? So, follow me on this. Follow me. Don't interrupt. Just hang on. Don't interrupt me. Just sit down, shut the fuck up, don't interrupt me.
Why?
Hawkinson gone. You cut Jared Goff. You cut Michael Brockers. You cut Halapulu Tavati Vaitai. You cut Romeo Okora. Now you're sitting at $65 million in cap space. $65 million means that you are the 3rd richest team in the free agent market this upcoming season, okay? Now, there is a quarterback who has already said that he is willing to come to Detroit. That is a destination he wouldn't mind playing at. This quarterback has won a league MVP on his rookie year, has made it to the playoffs multiple seasons, and has carried a franchise with only 1 target to throw to. And a lot of legwork, baby. That's right. Lamar Jackson. So it looks like we're gearing up to make a hard run at Lamar, man. Potentially, if all these dominoes fall the way that they're supposed to fall. So that's my spiel on TJ Hawkinson. I'm right. You're wrong. Shut the fuck up. That's the end of it, right? All right. Look at it from my perspective, and you'll understand that I'm right and that everybody else was wrong.
Trust me.
Let's talk briefly about the Packers game. Moving forward for the rest of the season, it's evident Brad Holmes is rolling the tanks, right? We're tanking, okay? I've said the last few weeks, I think something's going on. It's pretty evident. They can't come out and say it. We're tanking. So look, this is what I'm looking for in the Packers game. The Packers are washed. They're Swiss cheese. The old man is not what he once was, dude, and it's rough to see. It's rough to see former glory players fizzle out, man. Aaron Rodgers is one of them. He's fizzling. He's not looking good. The Packers. But you know what? This is probably going to be a get-right game for him. And guess what? Considering we're tanking, I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to watch the game, and I'm going to root for my team. If we win, excellent. If we lose, I don't care because I know what we're doing. We have 2 picks in the first round. We're tanking, okay? So what can we look for in this game, right? We need to watch the growth and development of our young players. I don't give a shit about Jared Goff anymore. I don't give a shit about Josh Reynolds. Yeah, they're good players, right? I'm glad they're on our team. They're better than a Cracker Jack box. They're not the future of the franchise. So what we need to do is start focusing on the future of the franchise. We need to watch Penny Sewell and his continued development. We need to make sure that Hutch figures out how to get a good rush move in the NFL. We need to see AG figuring out how to put him in a position to succeed. I'm enjoying watching the growth of Zach Pascal. Over 2 weeks, he has grown tremendously. It's very impressive to see. And it further gives me hope in the Brad Holmes draft capital. We need to watching Rodrigo and Kirby Joseph. Look, there, I just gave you 4 players on defense to watch. Half of our starting defense, you can sit there and watch. And just watch the growth of them and be entertained by the fact that we have young upcoming players who could potentially right the ship, who will be part of the crew that rows the boat to the championship, division titles, in the hunt for the playoff contenders, right? These guys will be part of that correction because they're Brad Holmes guys. We're getting rid of the stink of the old era. TJ Hawkinson, stink of the old era. If I'm being honest, if Swift wasn't so dinged up, I bet you would have seen Swift move at the trade deadline, because as good as he is, he's still, he's kind of a China doll, and he's also still has the stink of the old era on him. As much as we all like DeAndre Swift, ultimately him, HOCK, Okudah, Decker, Ragnow, they're all Quinn Trisha era guys. And luckily, they're good enough to be able to adapt to a new regime, especially like Ragnow. And for all intents and purposes, Taylor Decker is not bad. Okay, I think Taylor Decker is an emotional fella, right? And I'm willing to bet that he's getting a little frustrated, and justifiably so. We should all be a little frustrated, but we all need to realize that we're tanking. Okay, we're tanking. So we need to root for our rookies to produce. We need to root for an entertaining ball game. We need to root that the LA Rams continue to lose, because that increases our second first-round pick. And we need to start looking at college football players and how we're going to take Will Anderson number 1 overall if we maintain the first overall pick. Go Lions. Maybe they win 28-24. I don't know, man. Probably going to want to go ahead and start, Aaron Jones if you got him on your fantasy team. And that's about it, really, because there isn't a whole hell of a lot. I don't know if Saint's going to have a real big game because Jair Alexander's a pretty decent corner, but the Packers' defense isn't that great. And let's watch the development of who fills in at tight end. Is it Brock Wright? Do they elevate Shane Zylstra? Is James Mitchell going to get the first start of his career? Because, I like what I've seen out of James Mitchell, man. I don't know, fellas. Drop a comment down below. I know it's been kind of a long, rambling video. We're still trying to figure out everything, kind of get everything situated, but I really appreciate you guys being here, man. It's super awesome that you've stuck around this long. So, look, guys, it is what it is. We're tanking. Trying to have a good weekend. We'll see you guys in the next one. Go Lions.
Time to 23 Skidoo. Or should I say, 69 Skidoo.